as you know, for 30 minutes. So, welcome to the Lakeview Band, Middle School Band, Beginning Band Winter Concert. We're so happy to have you here. It's so good to see. A lot of you haven't seen since the parent meeting or since we did instrument drives last spring. So we're happy. We're to this point. The kids are playing recognizable stuff now. We hope, anyway. We're really excited. They've been great today. When you push them, they respond, and that's a really good thing because we're looking forward to the future of what is going to come up for these guys. Just a little bit. I don't want to talk too long because that's not what we're here to do, but they're right on the cusp of doing stuff now. Like they've kind of got the basic mechanics of their instruments going. So it's going to be a whirlwind from here to the end of the year. And I'll talk a little bit more about what that entails because I don't see you guys very often. In fact, as this size of a group, I probably won't see you until the spring concert. So a lot of things are going to happen in the spring. It's going to be a really exciting time for them. So I just want to tell you that getting to this point in the year, I always enjoy after it's done, of course, because it's I said this to somebody just yesterday. It's like, man, why can't I enjoy the holiday season? Because there's so much stress and it's like so busy. But I'm glad you guys took a moment to come enjoy the work that they've done, and they really have worked hard. I just want to remind you, if you could silence, you can certainly use your devices, but please silence them, and make sure you guys behind me here have silenced your devices as well. And we're going to start our concert now. So. Thanks. This group behind me has only met and rehearsed together like this 3 times technically. 2 times after school, once before Thanksgiving, once yesterday, and then tonight. So to put something together like this where there's independent parts going on and not getting confused in that is a very big challenge. And then the nerves kick in and all that kind of stuff. So to be able to start and stop together is quite a feat. So we're happy with that. We're going to continue now by showing you some of the things that we do during the day. And not too much, but every class meets as its own instrument. We're blessed to be able to do that. There's a lot, like when I grew up, I was in a brass class. I was with all the different brass instruments, from trumpet to French horn to trombone, euphonium, and then tuba later. added to that class. So they have such an advantage meeting as a homogeneous class where it's just their instruments, so we can move quickly. And that's why you hear about such great band programs in this school district, because the school district is willing to spend that kind of money to hire staffing and be able to have that many classes. So we're blessed to have that. So we're going to start with the trombone class. The trombone class meets first period. And they are they're the only brass instrument that uses the trombone slide. They don't have any keys to play their instrument. So they have to, I always get the question, where do you put that thing? You just have to learn and listen, and that's what they've done. So this is the trombone class, and here we go.
Great job, Tones. Okay, I represent the woodwind half of the equation in our band program. We're going to hear next from two instruments at the same time. We have two classes that are like this, one for woodwinds and one for brass. And one for woodwinds, we have our double reed class. A double reed is quite an interesting animal. It's kind of fickle and can be a challenge, but these 4 individuals playing in our double reed class this year are doing just an outstanding job. We're going to show you how a double reed works by playing it for you just with the reed, and the bassoons are going to use their vocal and the reed. It makes a wonderful sound. All the woodwind instruments use this as a technique to improve their sound, and you've heard this at home if you are a parent of one of these students. So they're just going to play a small part of their instrument for you. Go ahead, guys, ready? Isn't that cute? Helps them build their facial muscles and structure and everything. And, okay, now we're going to play for you. This is one of the only classes, not the only class, but one of the ones that you're going to hear some harmony in their section song. So here we go. Continue now with the low brass class. This class meets third period, and it has basically your conical low brass instruments, which are euphonium and tuba. Now, all the brasses, what makes brass different from the double reed that you just heard is they all have a similar kind of mouthpiece, different sizes, but similar kind of mouthpiece. So, you guys hold everybody brass-wise, trumpet, French horn, trombone, euphonium, tuba, hold up your mouthpieces and let them see what they look like, okay? Those are those mouthpieces that you basically vibrate your lips to make a sound with. Like every other instrument, you blow a column of air and the reed vibrates or something vibrates. In this case, the lips are causing the vibration and it's amplified through the instrument. Let's show them what that sounds like. Ready, brass? We're going to vibrate just our mouthpieces. Kind of funny. Here we go.
Big raspberry.
Exactly. And here's the thing about having all these noisemakers. It seems like you could just make a noise and play wonderful music. It's really not that easy. I mean, a lot of us could make a noise. Like, I'm not the greatest flute player. I can make a noise on it, but the technique and the refinement required to make a pretty noise, which becomes a pretty sound, which becomes music, that's a little more challenging. So we're going to continue now with the low brass class.
All right. Next up is our flute class. Flute, wonderful, beautiful instrument. It's in the woodwind family, but it's not made of wood anymore. It used to be, but we're fortunate to have a very good flute class this year. Flutes, do you want to show them your piece? Let's go ahead and play our head joints for them. Okay, you've heard this at home if you're one of these students. Okay, go ahead, ready? Just the head joint, Jim. Okay, without further ado, here's the flute class. Playing the invitation.
Show I was bringing a rag, apparently. You never know what you're going to have to fix. So we had a valve guide issue. It is now repaired. It's a little thing that keeps the valve going in the right direction so air can pass. Okay, we're going to start with the French horn class. Now, French horn, the difficulty in playing French horn is that they can play, in fact, tonight they're playing, I think it's 3 different notes tonight using the same finger. In other words, most of these instruments press a particular key and that note comes out. Well, on the French horn, they have 3 notes with the same fingering, so they have to really refine and be able to hear and make sure that the exact pitch comes out. And so it's all about good air with the French horn. So this class meets 7th period.
Next, we're going to go to the back of the room here, our wonderful percussion section, and they are going to play their song in a round. So they're going to play it once, and then you'll hear it as a round. Okay, next is the saxophones. Now I'm back on track. Okay, saxophones are going to play their mouthpiece for you. This is probably the most difficult instrument to do this on, and it takes a while to perfect it. So thank you for being patient. If you do have to put up with this at home, we really appreciate that, because they're going to keep doing it all year long. Have to say, that's actually one of the best times I've been doing it, so, all right.
Karen laugh.
Okay, so you've heard a lot of the classes, we have a couple to go. I just want to say that as we go through the year, the next big goal for these kiddos is going to be what we call pass-offs and objectives. They've kind of already been having objectives already, so they're kind of already in the mode of doing it, but there's three things that need to happen for them to be able to go to Sandy Lake. That's the big goal, right? They really want to get out of school for the full day. What we do is we go perform under the Big Tent, and several of you sometimes are able to get out of work that morning and come see us perform under the Big Tent at Sandy Lake. And we perform, it's in April, I think it's April 20th, something like that. And so for them to be able to gain that privilege, they have to learn how to play their instrument pretty well. So they have to pass off these objectives. To be eligible to leave school, middle school is a whole different animal, right? You have to actually get a passing grade in every single class on the previous report card to be allowed to go on our field trips. So they have to make sure that their grades are doing well. And then they have to take care of all their financial responsibilities and make sure that they do, make sure they're participating in a way that enables us to afford this trip, if I can put it that way. So they have to do all those things. So if there's any way I can help you guys as parents, get that to happen, please don't hesitate to reach out. We have private lesson programs going on. We also have scholarship programs to help with all these things. So just contact us and we'll work through those things. But we're heading towards that. And then we have our May concert. And then, I want to mention it now because I'm not going to see till the May concert. They have a recital where we're going to divide this group of kids into 5 different rooms in this building. And you'll know which room to go to. And it's about a 30-minute recital where you hear each person in that little group. There's like 12 kids in a group, something like that, and they play a solo by themselves with a recording of an accompaniment, piano accompaniment. And so it's their first solo recital. That happens in May. I told them recently, on some of them, they're like, I can't do that. Well, yeah, you can. No, it'll be fine. I mean, we go through that so many times in class, and it's a great opportunity to really showcase what they've learned for the whole year. So that's kind of it in a nutshell where we're heading. For the rest of this year. Now, the trumpets are playing next, and they meet second period. And trumpet is the highest of the brass instruments. It has the smallest mouthpiece of the brasses, and therefore the greatest amount of resistance. And they have to learn how to play in a relaxed way, but yet have that compressed air from the gut. And so we're working to control that, and they're doing a great job. And so here are the trumpets.
The last class you're going to hear from is also our biggest beginner class of 16 students. The clarinet is a beautiful instrument, but as you probably heard at home, it has its challenges. And these students are all doing a very fantastic job. Many of them, at different times, are met with adversity. When you're learning the clarinet, sometimes there's different parts of playing the clarinet that are quite challenging. And these students are not backing down from those challenges. They're facing them head on. Many of them have really risen over those challenges in an amazing way that I'm super proud of. And so let's hear from them now. Here's the clarinet. This is where we train everybody a little bit, and it makes the process go really fast. So this involves parents, families, all the kids. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to perform one more piece for you. At the end of that piece,
We're gonna have the percussion, they're standing. You probably are taking thousands of pictures of them, but we're gonna recognize them by where they're standing. And then I'm gonna do something like this. Actually, Mr. Summerhays could do it too. It's actually 4, isn't it? The 4th row will stand up for you, and you'll be able to see the 4th row. And then we're gonna do the 3rd row, 2nd row, 1st row. So you'll be able to see each row of students more clearly, and if you wanna take pictures, that'll be your time to do that too. At the end of the concert, after that happens, and the applause died down, we're done. But I told the kids, you guys, we got a reception out there with all this food that everybody brought in, but nobody's allowed to get any of it unless we get this room cleared out. Because I know after I eat food, I don't want to work. So here's how easy this can be. What the kids are going to do is they're going to push their music stands all the way down, and they're going to take the binders off, of course, and flip the table, the desk, over. And then we have at the very back of the wall, I think we have 5 stand racks that those stands need to feed on correctly, and I'll help with that, because if they don't feed on correctly, each one's supposed to hold 20. And then we need somebody to push those, each one of those, we need a volunteer to go back to the band hall, just leave them in the band hall, just get to the band hall. Then we have 9 rolling chairs, and on each one of those rolling chairs, there's supposed to be 8 of these blue chairs placed upon them. So we stack the chairs, put 8 blue chairs on each rolling chairs, and then I need 9 people to roll those chairs back to the band hall. So we're up to 9 plus 5, okay? So that's how many people we need so far. Then all this percussion equipment, there's only 5 of them, 6 of them, but they need to move all that back. And then I come back and get this and those kinds of things, but with a little bit of help, we can get everybody, and the kids need to go back to the band hall, case up, and put their binders away, and then when they come back to the line, we'll serve them, okay? So we're hoping that everybody, so I'm telling the volunteers right now, don't serve anybody unless they have put their instrument away. And of course, if they're there 5 minutes before all the other kids, then they probably didn't help. But we're gonna have a little bit of a captivity as we put the stands away, and then after the stands all go get racked with the students doing that, that's the main thing you guys can help us with. We'll pull the stands out here, we'll hold them in their chairs for a second, then we'll rack the stands. The rest goes really fast, it won't take that long. Thank you guys so much for your help.